When you open ESS6, SPSS displays the data editor window. Your window may look slightly different to the one here, depending upon which release of SPSS you're using, whether you're using a Mac or a PC. SPSS also allows you to customize the appearance of your windows, and if your preference settings are slightly different, this may lead to cosmetic differences in the way the window appears. Just like any computer application, there's a menu bar at the top where you can select menus that issue different commands to SPSS. Beneath that is an icon toolbar with icons for various commonly used operations. The data editor window has two modes: data view, which is shown here, and variable view, which is shown here. In variable view, SPSS displays information about each of the variables in the dataset. Each variable occupies one row of the variable view on the data editor window. It contains information such as the name of the variable, what type it is, whether it's a string variable or a numeric variable. We'll look at the difference between those in a minute. The variable label, which gives you a brief description of the variable, what values the variable takes, and whether there are any labels for those values, whether there are missing values, and its level of measurement. In the data view version of the data editor window, variables are listed in columns. So we see the first variable in this data set is a variable name, and it just describes the data set itself. Here's the variable CNTRY, which captures the country in which the respondent was interviewed. Next to it is ID number, the identification number of the respondent in that country. Over here, POLINTR is a variable created from the answer to a question about how interested the respondent is in politics. And we can see that the first case in the data set is somebody from Albania who says they're very interested in politics, and so on. You'll see the icon with an A and a 1 on it. That enables you to toggle between values and value labels when looking at the data editor window in the data view mode. There I've got the numerical or alphanumeric values that the variables have been stored by. Here I can see the labels associated with those values. You can move between the data view and variable view versions of the data editor window by clicking on the buttons at the bottom of the screen. Or you can also move between these windows by double-clicking either on a variable name or in the cell at the extreme left-hand side of the variable view window. In data view mode, each variable is displayed in the columns. Each case is displayed in the rows. And in each cell is the value that that variable takes for that case. Like any window, you can scroll up and down. If we scroll right to the bottom of the data editor window, for example, we can see that there are about 54,000 cases in this data set. Keep in mind that the data editor window is an active window. In other words, you can change the data in the data set while you have this window open. Be careful not to do this inadvertently. It's only in rare occasions that you'd want to directly edit the data in the data editor window.